welcome to this tutorial to accompany week 1 of my Down by the Sea blanket. We've already done the central circle. There's a separate tutorial for that. This tutorial is for rounds 2 through to 12, which is to create a square around this central circle. This is the original colorway you can see here on my blanket, and here is the alternative colorway that I'm going to show you today. Same stitches, just different colors. So I'm Eleonora from Coastal Crochet, and there is lots more information about this crochet along over on my website www.coastalcrochet.com. A couple of things before we get started. I use UK crochet terminology, but I do translate to US as we go through. So whichever terminology you're using, this is going to be helpful. And really importantly, these tutorials, these video tutorials, are not to replace the written pattern. I do recommend that you have a copy of the written pattern next to you when working through this tutorial. I haven't videoed every single stitch. I'd be here for far too long, but rather it is videos to show you the various stitches to get you started and finished on each round. So do have a copy of the pattern to hand. And I really hope that you find these tutorials helpful. So let's get started. Here's the circle that we have already done, and round 1 is the half treble US half double crochet stitches going all the way around, and there should be 64 of those. So if you look at the half treble US half double crochet stitches, they are unique in that they have 3 loops or strands at the top of each stitch. So here's the first one. Here's the second, looks like the traditional V at the top of the stitch, but at the back we also have this extra strand here that you can see. And so in round 2, we're going to be inserting our hook into the back 2 strands only, which is this one and this one, leaving a strand to the front, which creates a little bit of a decorative ridge as we join our crochet to this central circle. Moving on to round 2, and we join yarn C into any stitch, remembering it's those back 2 loops that we're inserting our hook into in this round. So insert your hook into those back 2 loops of any stitch and join with yarn C. And now looking at the pattern, we start by making 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and that counts as the first treble US double crochet stitch of this round. And now there's working brackets, and all of that we do into the same stitch, and that's 3 treble, that's US double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, followed by 2 chain, 1, 2, and then a further 4 treble US double crochet, all into the same stitch. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and here's 4. And as you can see, we've done a group of treble US double crochet stitches, which is this shape coming out of the stitch. Looking at the pattern, we now miss 2 stitches. So 1, if you can see, there's the stitch we're coming out of, miss 2, 1, 2, and into the next stitch, remembering it's those back 2 loops that we're inserting our hook into, we work a slip stitch. So insert your hook, yarn over and pull through to the front and the loop on the hook. So pull through everything on the hook. We now make 2 chain, 1, 2, miss just 1 stitch this time, so miss the next stitch, and in the next stitch along, insert your hook and work a further slip stitch. So yarn over and pull through everything on the hook. And so that is now what we have. And then looking at the pattern, we miss 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then all the work in the brackets we do into the next stitch along, which is 4 treble US double crochet, followed by 2 chain, and then a further 4 treble US double crochet. So that's 1, that's 2, 3 and 4, followed by 2 chain, 1, 2, and a further 4 treble US double crochet into the same stitch. 1, 2, 3, and here is number 4. So you can see now this is what we have got. And then looking at the pattern, miss the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then work a slip stitch into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through everything on the hook, make 2 chain, 1, 2, miss 1 stitch, and then another slip stitch in the next stitch along. Miss 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then we repeat from this point 6 times more around. So we're creating these shapes going all the way around. And when we repeated that 6 times more, we should actually end up with 8 of the groups of the treble US double crochet. There's what we started with. This is the one I showed you. Repeated it 6 times more and we should end up with 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in total. And now there should be 2 stitches, 1, 2, to miss at the end of the round. And here is the beginning 3 chain that we started the round with, and we're going to slip stitch into the top chain of that beginning 3 chain, go under 2 strands if you can, and then work a slip stitch, pulling through everything on the hook. And that is the end of round 2, and we simply fasten off. Moving on to round 3, and we join yarn D into any 2 chain space in between the slip stitches. So these were the slip stitches we made in the previous round, and there is the 2 chain space between them. So insert your hook into any one of those 2 chain spaces and join with yarn D. And then we make 3 chain, which again counts as our first stitch, our first treble US double crochet. And looking at the pattern, we now make 2 treble into the same place, US double crochet. So that's 1, and then this is 2, like so. And now we miss the next slip stitch. So this is the little slip stitch we did in round 2. And now we work 1 treble US double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So we're going to be working in these stitches here. And the first stitch is this one here. It's quite gappy. It's the first stitch of that group, and it is this here. So if you look at the stitches, because we've got the right side of the work facing us now, the top of the stitch sits just to the right of the post. It'll be the other way around if you're left-handed. So this is the first stitch, and the top of that stitch sits just to the right. This first one's a little bit more gappy, but it's 1 treble US double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So that's 1, and then here's the next one, 2. And then if you look at the pattern, it's 1 half treble US half double crochet into the next stitch, and then it's 1 double crochet US single crochet into the next stitch. And now we make 2 chain, 1, 2, we miss the 2 chain space that we made in the previous round, and then it's 1 double crochet US single crochet into the next stitch, 1 half treble US half double crochet into the next stitch, and then 1 treble US double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, and then we will have gone all the way around this group of treble US double crochet stitches, like so. And now we miss the next slip stitch, and which is this one here, and in the next 2 chain space we work 3 treble US double crochet into that next 2 chain space. So 1, 2, and 3. And this is just like how we started the round. So we've got 3 there, we have 3 here, and we're just repeating this all the way around. So we repeat it 7 times in total, but we end the last repeat here, because at that point we'll be here just before this first group that we made. So repeat from here all the way around. So now it's missed the next slip stitch and 1 treble in each of the next 2 stitches, and so on. I'm just on my final repeat, and looking at the pattern, it tells us to end the final repeat at star star, which is just here as I come to do my second of the 2 treble stitches, like so. So if you look around, I've gone around each of the groups of treble US double crochet, and just like before, we now slip stitch to the top of the beginning 3 chain, counted as our first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, insert your hook into the top of that 3 chain under the 2 strands and work a slip stitch to join the round. And that's the end of round 3, which we fasten off. So moving on to round 4, and we join yarn C into any 2 chain space from round 2. So not the 2 chain space we made in round 3, which would be this one here, but into the 2 chain space from round 2, which is this one here. So we're inserting our hook into that big one there, and we're joining with yarn C. And now we make 5 chain, which is going to count as our first treble plus 2 chain. So 1, 2, 3, that's like 1 treble, 4, 5, that's 2 extra chain. And looking at the pattern, we now do 1 treble US double crochet into the same place, but just make sure you insert your hook into that and go right through to the back, so that we will be encasing the 2 chain that we made in round 3. And just work your treble US double crochet stitch as normal, like so, and you'll get this little shape coming out like so. And then looking at the pattern, we now do 1 treble US double crochet into each of the next 11 stitches going across. So there's the first one, which was the double crochet US single crochet we made in round 3, and then carry on. So that's 1, this is 10, and this one here is 11. So I've gone all the way across with 11 treble US double crochet stitches. And looking at the pattern, we now do 1 treble US double crochet, 2 chain, and then another treble US double crochet, all into the next 2 chain space in round 2. So that's there, insert your hook there, and then it's 1 treble US double crochet, 2 chain, and then another treble US double crochet. And we repeat this all the way around again with 1 treble US double crochet into each of the next 11 stitches, and then in these 2 chain spaces in round 2 we work the treble US double crochet, 2 chain, and then the treble US double crochet. So continue doing that all the way around. And when you've gone all the way around with your 11 treble US double crochet and then into these chain spaces working your treble US double crochet, 2 chain, and then another treble US double crochet, you will be back at the beginning and then into the beginning 5 chain that we made. Remember, it was the first 3 chain that counted as the treble, so count 1, 2, 3, and in the 3rd chain of that beginning 5 chain, insert your hook under both strands like so, and then work a slip stitch to join and close the round. So in round 5 we join yarn D into the first stitch to the left of any 2 chain space. So here's the 2 chain space, and the first stitch to the left is this one here. So insert your hook into there and join with yarn D. And now we make 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and then work 4 treble into the same stitch. That's US double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and then there is 4. And so now we drop the loop from the hook. So just take your hook out of that loop, insert your hook from front to back in the top of the beginning 3 chain. We're making a popcorn here, but we're making a beginning popcorn. So the beginning 3 chain is here, 1, 2, 3. That counted as our first stitch. So insert your hook into the top of that 3 chain, going under both strands, if you can, like so. Insert your hook into there, then insert your hook into the loop where we removed our hook from, pick up that dropped loop, and now we just pull this through that 3 chain, like so. And now that is a beginning popcorn made. The following popcorns that we're going to make in the rest of this round are made slightly different because we don't have the beginning 3 chain. So when you've made that first popcorn, it is now 1 treble, US double crochet in each of the next 11 stitches. And at this point, it's a good idea to crochet around the tail of yarn. It's a good way to sort of weave your ends in as you go. So that's 1 treble, US double crochet. That's 2. This is number 11, my 11th treble, US double crochet. So there is the beginning popcorn, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 treble US double crochet. And now into the next stitch we do 1 popcorn, and a popcorn is simply 5 treble or US double crochet into the same stitch. So there's the next stitch, the one before the 2 chain space. Work your 5 treble or US double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 5. So 5 treble US double crochet into the same stitch. Remove your hook from the loop. Count back to the first treble US double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Insert your hook into that first one. Grab the loop like so and pull it through. And that is 1 popcorn made. And so now we make 2 chain, 1, 2, miss this 2 chain space here, and we're going to make another popcorn in the next stitch. So just like before, 5 treble US double crochet into the next stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remove your hook from the loop and count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into that first stitch. Insert your hook, grab the loop and pull it through like so. That's the second popcorn made, and popcorns make great texture. They protrude and are lovely textured stitches. So now we're back at the beginning really. This was the first popcorn we made, did the 11 treble US double crochet and then made another popcorn. We've now made this first popcorn here to the left of the 2 chain space, and so we repeat from star. If you look at the pattern, repeat from star 7 times more, ending the final repeat just before we get to the first popcorn we made. So now it's 11 treble US double crochet and then a popcorn either side of there. So repeat what we've done 7 times more. So I'm just making my very final popcorn, done the 5 treble US double crochet into that stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through. That's my final popcorn. Make 2 chain, and now we slip stitch to the top of the beginning popcorn that we made. So if you just have a look, you can see this is the stitch to the left of the popcorn, so the top of the popcorn is actually just behind, and go like that under the 2 strands and work a slip stitch to close this round. Fasten off and we'll move on to round 6. So moving on to round 6, and we join yarn C into any 2 chain space made in round 4. So this was round 2, round 3, this yellow one is round 4, and it's into that 2 chain space that we insert our hook, making sure we go underneath the 2 chain made in round 5, because we want to encase that and neaten it. So pull your yarn through like so, and then we make 4 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this counts as the first double treble stitch, or US treble. And now we do 2 double treble, which is where we wrap the yarn around the hook twice. That's a US treble into the same 2 chain space, making sure you go underneath to the back to encase the yarn made in round 5. So complete your double treble, US treble stitch like so. We're doing 2 in that space, wrap the yarn around the hook twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull to the front. You'll have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And there you can see it really does neaten and join the yellow yarn down, creating a nice separation between these popcorns. And looking at the pattern, we now do 1 treble, that's US double crochet, in each of the next 13 stitches, and just pay attention to crochet into the tops of the popcorn that is less clear to see. So here you can clearly see the stitches, the tops of the stitches sit just to the right of them, but the popcorn is less clear to see, but do remember to go into them like so. So that's 1 treble US double crochet, and we're doing 13, so 1 in each of the next 13 stitches across here. 2, 12, and then 13 will be the top of that final popcorn. So have a little look there, you can see the top of the popcorn. So that's 13 treble US double crochet that I have done along there. And now it is 3 double treble into the next 2 chain space made in round 4, which is this one here. So wrap your yarn around the hook twice, insert your hook into that chain space in round 4, and work your double treble US treble stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Do 2 more of these double treble. That's 1, and that's 2. And there we go. You can see how it really does neaten those stitches. And so we repeat from star, if you look at the pattern, 7 times more, ending final repeat at star, star. And if you go back to where the star is, it's here. It's where we begin our 1 treble US double crochet in each of the next 13 stitches, and then 3 double treble US treble into the 2 chain space from round 4. Repeat this all the way around, remembering to go into the top of those popcorns, which count as 1 stitch. So there you go. I'm just on my last couple of stitches on the final run of 13 treble US double crochet stitches. That's number 12, and this here is number 13, going into the top of that popcorn stitch like so. And then we slip stitch to the top of the beginning 4 chain to join this round. So there is the beginning 4 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4. We go into the top chain of that beginning 4 chain under both strands, like so, and join with a slip stitch. But this time we are not going to fasten off the work. This is the end of round 6, and for round 7 we're going to turn the work and we're going to have the wrong side facing us as we continue in yarn C for round 7. By turning the work and working this on the wrong side, it helps to keep the octagon shape aligned. So we're going to begin round 7 with 2 chain, and this counts as our first half treble. That's a US half double crochet stitch. So this stitch is now accounted for, and because we've got the wrong side of the work facing, the top of the stitch now sits just to the left of the post. Again, that'll be different if you're left-handed, but for right-handed, there's the post of the stitch and the top of the stitches now sit to the left. So looking at the pattern, it's 1 half treble US half double crochet in each of the next 14 stitches. So the 2 chain counts the stitch, so this stitch is now counted for. The next one is this one here, half treble US half double crochet, yarn over, got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3, and so it's 14 of those. 1, 2, 13, and then here is 14. So I've done the 14 half treble US half double crochet, and now we make 2 chain, 1, 2, we miss the next stitch, which should be the central stitch of our double treble US treble stitches we made in the previous round, so we miss that stitch, and now we do 1 half treble US half double crochet in each of the next 15 stitches. So miss the next one, and then 1 half treble half double crochet in each of the next 15. 1, 2, 14, and then 15. There we go. And now we're back at those 3 double treble US treble stitches, and if you look at the pattern, all the work there is in brackets. We make 2 chain, we miss the next stitch, and then we're back to the beginning of the brackets, 1 half treble in each of the next 15, missing this stitch, and continue doing this all the way around. I'm just on my last run of 15 half treble US half double crochet. That's 14 and that is 15, so I have gone all the way around, and we just end with 2 chain, miss the next stitch, that final stitch, and now slip stitch to the top of the beginning 2 chain, which counted as our first half treble. So go to the top of that 2 chain, insert your hook under both strands like so, and work a slip stitch to close the round, and then fasten off. And so moving on to round 8, we turn the work so that the right side is facing us. Round 8 is made with the right side facing us. And if you look at the pattern, it tells us to join yarn D into the first stitch to the left of any 2 chain space that we made in round 7. So here are the 2 chain spaces you can see that we made in between these half treble US half double crochet stitches. So insert your hook into the first stitch to the left of any of these 2 chain spaces. If you're left-handed, that may well be the other side. Now also remember that now we have the right side facing us, and the previous round, round 7, was made with the wrong side facing. The top of the stitch will now sit to the left of the post. So there's the stitch, the post of the stitch. The top of the stitch will now sit just to the left. Again, if you're left-handed, that will probably be to the right. And if you look at the pattern, we're just inserting our hook into the one very back loop only. Remember, these are half treble US half double crochet stitches, so you have the 3 loops or strands, 1, 2, and then 3, and we're just inserting our hook into the one very back strand, which leaves 2 loops or strands to the front of the work, which again gives a nice decorative ridge. So insert your hook into that one back loop only and join with yarn D. And now looking at the pattern, we are going to make 3 chain. That counts as your first treble, US double crochet, and now it's 1 treble, US double crochet into the same stitch, so into the same back loop of the same stitch, like so. And now it's 1 treble, US double crochet in each of the next 13 stitches, just going into that one very back loop only. 1. So I've done my 13 treble US double crochet, and now it's 2 treble US double crochet into the back loop only of the next stitch. So that's 1 and that's 2, and now we'll be back or at the next 2 chain space, which you can see there. And so now we make 2 chain, 1, 2, we miss this 2 chain space, and then we do 2 treble US double crochet into the back loop only of the next stitch, so the first stitch after the 2 chain space. And remember, these are half treble US half double crochet, so they sit quite a bit over. There's the stitch, the post of the stitch, there is the stitch just into that one back loop only. So work 2 treble US double crochet into there, like so. And so now we are in the same position as our starting 2, and so we repeat that going all the way around. Repeat from start 7 times, and we're now at the point of the star in the pattern with 1 treble US double crochet in each of the next 13 stitches, then 2 treble in the back loop only of the next stitch, 2 chain, miss the 2 chain space, and then 2 treble US double crochet into the first stitch after the 2 chain space, and continue all the way around. I'm just on the last run of 13 treble US double crochet, and now the final stitch is 2 treble US double crochet, 1 and 2, and now we make 2 chain, 1, 2, miss the 2 chain space, and then it is slip stitch to the top of that beginning 3 chain. So that's the end of round 8, and we can fasten off, and you can see it's growing nicely. So moving on to round 9, we keep the right side facing, and we join yarn C into the first stitch to the left of any 2 chain space. So just like we did in the previous round. So here's a 2 chain space, and here's the first stitch to the left. This time we're keeping the right side facing, and these stitches were worked with the right side facing, so the stitch sits just there, just to the right of the top of that stitch. So insert your hook in there and join with yarn C, and then we make 3 chain, which counts as the first treble US double crochet. And looking at the pattern, we now do 1 treble or US double crochet in each of the next 16 stitches. So straightforward trebles, US double crochets. And again, this is a good opportunity to crochet around that tail of yarn, what I'm doing. So again, that sort of saves with weaving in too many ends when you get to the end. So 16 treble US double crochet. And this final one here is 16. So there we go. We had our beginning 3 chain, and then 1 treble US double crochet in each of the next 16 stitches, which brings us to the first 2 chain space. And if you look at the pattern, we are missing this 2 chain space, but instead we are working 2 front post quadruple treble around the missed double treble that sits directly below in round 6. So it's quite wordy, but let me break that down for you. So this was round 2, this is round 3, this is round 4, this is round 5, This is round 6, and if you remember in round 6 we did those 3 double treble US treble stitches, and it's the central one of those 3 that we're going to be crocheting around. So locate that stitch first. This is the central stitch of those 3 double treble US treble stitches that we're going to be going around. So I've located the stitch there, just to the right of my thumb. And now a quadruple treble, that is a triple treble in the US terms. It starts by beginning by wrapping the yarn around the hook 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrap your yarn around the hook 4 times, and now, because it's a front post stitch, we're going to go around that double treble, the US treble, in round 6, from front to back, round to the front again. So we've wrapped our yarn around the hook 4 times. There's the stitch down here in round 6. Insert your hook from front to back, round the post of that stitch and round to the front again. Yarn over and pull it round the back of that stitch, round to the front again, and you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on the hook. And we just complete the quadruple treble stitch, the triple treble US stitch as we normally would, which is yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 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 until you've got 1 loop left on the hook. And as you can see, it's a really tall, long stitch. So we've worked it down into round 6, but it's lovely and long, so it sits lovely at the top of this round. And we're doing 2 of those around the missed double treble US treble stitch. So that's 1, so we'll do another one. So wrap your yarn around the hook 4 times, 3, 4, insert your hook around the same stitch from front to back, round to the front again, yarn over hook, pull it round the post of that stitch to the front again, and then it's yarn over, pull through 2, 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 and yarn over, pull through 2. And there you can see we've done 2 of these front post quadruple treble stitches, reaching down to that central stitch like so. Makes it look really lovely. And now it's 1 treble US double crochet in each of the next 17 stitches, which is these all the way along here. And then when we get to the next 2 chain space, we do exactly the same again. I'm just coming up to my final run of 17 treble US double crochet stitches. Then I can show you the front post quadruple treble again if you like, but if you look, I've gone all the way around. So I just have to finish now with my final 2 front post quadruple treble around the missed double treble stitch, that stitch here that we missed, the central one of these 3. So we crocheted into this one, we crocheted into that one, this was the missed one, and wrap your yarn around the hook 4 times, insert your hook around that stitch from front to back, round to the front again, yarn over, pull it round the post of that stitch. There you should now have 6 loops on the hook, and it's yarn over, pull through 2, 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 and yarn over, pull through 2. There's 1. The second one to do, 3, 4 wraps around the hook, insert your hook around the post of that same stitch, yarn over, pull it through, and then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Just let that go there. There you go. And there you can see the 2 long quadruple trebles around the post of that double treble US treble stitch down below. And so to end this round, we simply now slip stitch to the top of the beginning 3 chain, So here you can see now, that is what the work is looking like, with these lovely tall raised stitches reaching down. And so now what we're going to do, moving on to round 10, is we're going to create a square around the octagon shape. So up until now, we have created an octagon, an 8-sided shape. There's 8 points going all the way around. We're now going to create a square around this. So keeping the right side facing, join yarn D into the left stitch of any of the 2 raised stitches. So here are the 2 raised stitches, any 2, and insert your hook into the left one, which is this one here, and join yarn D. And now we make 1 chain, and this 1 chain counts as our first double crochet US single crochet. So you might want to put a little stitch marker into this chain, because it's this chain that we will be crocheting back into at the end of the round to join the round. This 1 chain counts as a stitch. So now looking at the pattern, we do 1 double crochet, that's a US single crochet, in each of the next 19 stitches. Again, we can crochet around this tail of yarn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 17, 18 and 19. So I've done 19 double crochet US single crochet stitches. And now we miss 1 stitch, so miss this stitch here, and into the next stitch it's 3 treble US double crochet. So miss 1 stitch, into the next stitch, 3 treble US double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Looking at the pattern, we now miss 2 stitches. So miss the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the next stitch we do 3 double treble, which is 3 US treble. So 3 of those. 1, wrap the yarn over the hook twice. 2, and then 3. So as you can see what's happening here, you can see we're starting to level off and to make that sort of corner square shape. So we've done our double crochet, US single crochet, done 3 treble, US double crochet, and now 3 double treble, US treble. And looking at the pattern, we now miss the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and into the next one we do 4 triple treble, which in the US is your double treble, and that's where you wrap your yarn around the hook 3 times. So miss 2 stitches, wrap your yarn over the hook 3 times, and do 4 triple treble into that next stitch. And then it's yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, an even taller stitch. So 4 of these into this stitch. So wrap your yarn around the hook 3 times, insert your hook into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through to the front. You'll have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you've got 2 more of these triple treble, which are your US double treble to do. So that is 1, that's my 3rd one, and our last one. Wrap the yarn around the hook 3 times, insert your hook into the stitch, and complete the triple treble US double treble stitch, like so. There we go. And so now we have 4 of those into that stitch, and you can see we're getting taller, and so we're leveling off to create our first corner of the square. And so now looking at the pattern, we make 2 chain, 1, 2, and now we only miss 1 stitch, so miss this 1 stitch here, and into the next stitch we again do 4 triple treble. So US double trebles, wrap your yarn over the hook 3 times, miss that 1 stitch, and into this one here it's 4 more of the triple treble US double treble. So that is 1, this is number 2, yarn over, pull through 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 2. Got 2 more of these to do, all into that same stitch. And 1 more. And this is in fact our first corner that we have created. This 2 chain space between these tall triple treble stitches is our first corner. And so now, looking back at the pattern, we are going to miss 2 stitches now, 1, 2, and then we're going to do 3 double treble, that's your US treble, into the next stitch. So miss 2 stitches and then 3 double treble, US treble stitches into the next stitch. So that's 1, that's 2, and this is 3. And if you look at the pattern now, we miss 2 stitches and now we do 3 treble into the next stitch. So miss 2 stitches and then 3 treble US double crochet into the next stitch. So that's 1, that's 2, and that is 3. Looking at the pattern, we now miss just the 1 stitch, so miss the 1 stitch. We're now at the next 2 raised stitches and we do 1 double crochet, US single crochet in each of the next 21 stitches all the way across, and that will then bring us to the point where we can create our second corner. So if I just push the work away so you can see what we've done, we have started to create the first corner of our square. We've got a flat side here, this is going to be the first side edge. Here is the first corner, and now we're just going along our next side edge, and we need to repeat exactly what we've done on the next corners, exactly this, to create our next 3 corners. So now we're doing 1 double crochet, US single crochet in each of the next 21 stitches, and then that will bring us back to the point here where we then can create our next corner. So repeat from star in the pattern 3 times, ending the final repeat at star star, and we're just repeating what we've done here to create our 4 corners. So I've just done my 21 double crochet, US single crochet all the way across, and so now if you look at the pattern, repeat from star, which is the miss 1 stitch back here, then 3 treble US double crochet, miss 2 stitches, then it's the double treble US treble, miss 2 stitches, then it's the 4 triple treble US double treble, miss the 1 stitch, a further 4, etc. So we're now at the point where we simply repeat what we started here and go all the way around. So I've just finished the final corner. I've done a corner on each side, and I'm now at the point in the pattern where it says repeat from star 3 times, which I've done, ending final repeat at star star. And if you look for the star star in the pattern, we're on that last 3 treble of the corner and we're missing 1 stitch. And now if you look at the pattern, we finish the round with 1 double crochet, so US single crochet into the final stitch like so. And now we slip stitch to the first 1 chain. Remember that 1 chain we made at the start of the round? that counted as our first stitch, and so insert your hook under the top 2 strands of that chain and work a slip stitch. Little bit tight maybe to get through. There we go, I've done it. And there we go, there we've joined the round. So we now have the beginnings of 4 corners. In the next round, round 11, we're going to build on those corners even more to make them really square. Now don't fasten off here, but turn the work so that the wrong side is now facing us for round 11. And in round 11 we begin again by making 1 chain. This counts as that first double crochet, US single crochet stitch, so you might want to put a stitch marker in there. And now looking at the pattern, it's 1 double crochet, US single crochet into the next stitch, which is this one here. And now it's missed 3 stitches, so it's missing this group of treble stitches, US double crochet stitches here, and then it's 3 treble, 3 US double crochet into the space before the next 3 double treble US treble group. So miss these 3 stitches and then 3 treble US double crochet into that space before the next group of 3 stitches. So that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. And now looking at the pattern, we miss 3 stitches, so again we're missing this group of 3 stitches here, and then it's 3 double treble, that's your US treble, into the next space before the next group of stitches. So into this space we do our 3 double treble US treble, where we wrap the yarn around the hook 2 times, 1, 2, and then insert our hook into that space and finish the stitch 1, 2, 3. 1 more, wrap the yarn around the hook twice, insert your hook into that space, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we've done 3 double treble, US treble into that space. And now we're in that corner space. So if you look at the pattern, it now tells us to miss 4 stitches. So it's this group of 4 that we're going to miss. And into this space here, we're going to do everything which is in those brackets, if you look at the pattern. And that's 4 triple treble, followed by 2 chain, followed by a further 4 triple treble. And the triple treble is the US double treble, and it's where we wrap the yarn around the hook 3 times, miss these 4 stitches, and into this corner chain space we work the 4 triple treble, US double treble. That's 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is now number 4. Wrap your yarn around the hook 3 times, insert into that space, yarn over, pull through to the front. You'll have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I've done 4. Now we make 2 chain, which is our corner, and then we do a further 4 triple treble, US double treble, into the same corner chain space. So 4 more of these tall triple treble US double treble stitches. So that's 1, this is 2, that's 3, and then 1 more into that corner chain space, and that is 4. And as you can see, we've created a really good corner now to our square. And looking at the pattern, we now miss 4 stitches, so we're missing this group of 4, and then it's 3 double treble, which is your US treble into the next space. So wrap your yarn over the hook twice, miss the 4 stitches, and in the next space we work 3 double treble. That's 1, that's 2, and that is 3. Looking at the pattern, we then miss 3 stitches, and then it's 3 treble US double crochet into the next space before the next group of 3 stitches. So ordinary treble US double crochet, that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Miss 3 stitches, which is this group here, and then it's 1 double crochet US single crochet in each of the next 21 stitches. So here are the 3 to miss, and then 1 double crochet US single crochet in each of the next 21. So that is 1, 2, 20, and 21. So again, you can see I've continued with that straight side edge, and here you can see the corner that we've made, so it's looking like a perfect square corner now. And so looking at the pattern, it's repeat from star 3 times, ending final repeat at star star. And if you look where the star is, we're back here where we're missing that first group of 3, then working into the space, missing the next group of 3, working into the space. So exactly what we did there, and then another 21 double crochet US single crochet. We're doing exactly that again, repeating it 3 times. On the final repeat, we're going to end just before we get to the run of 21 double crochet US single crochet stitches. So repeat all the way around. So I've repeated it 3 times. I've done all of my corners. I'm now at star star in the pattern, and instead of the run of 21 double crochet US single crochet stitches, there will be a run of 19. So miss these 3 stitches here, this group, and then it's 19 double crochet US single crochet, 18, and then 19. And then we're slip stitching to that beginning 1 chain that we made at the start of this round. So there it is, that little 1 chain that counted as our first stitch. So insert your hook under the 2 strands of that beginning 1 chain. If you used a stitch marker, that makes it easy to identify. There we go, and work a slip stitch like so. Don't fasten off, and turn the work for our final round of week 1, where we have the right side of the work facing. And this round is a simple round of treble US double crochet stitches. We start by making 3 chain. That counts as the first treble US double crochet, and so now we work 1 treble US double crochet in each stitch to the end of the side. So this one counts as a stitch, so this stitch here is accounted for, so it's into the next one, 1 treble US double crochet in each stitch to the end of the side until you get to that corner chain space. And when we get to the corner chain space, I will show you what to do. So I'm approaching the corner. We're just working into these tall stitches as normal. Just work into them with your treble US double crochet stitch. Obviously the tops of these stitches are a little bit looser than the smaller double crochet US single crochet, but just keep going until you get to the corner chain space, which is the end of the side. Don't forget we've created a square now, so we've got 4 sides. So I've done treble stitches US double crochet in each stitch to the end of the side, and then into the corner chain space we simply work 2 treble US double crochet. That's 1, that's 2. We make 2 chain which is our corner, and then we do a further 2 treble US double crochet into that corner chain space. So we've created our first corner. And so now repeat this 3 times, so 1 treble in each stitch to the end of the side, and then when you get to the corner you'll have your 2 treble, 2 chain, 2 treble, that's US double crochets, to work into the corner chain space. And do this all the way around. I've just done the last corner, and then there is still some treble US double crochet stitches to work to get to the end of the round. So just do that after you've worked your final corner. And then the final stitch is here. And then we slip stitch to the top of that beginning 3 chain to join. And then we fasten off. And that is the end of round 12, and our week 1 is complete. And at the end of round 12 there should be 45 stitches on each side with 4 corner chain spaces, and literally every stitch is counted, so 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way along until we get to these 2 here. It's the spaces themselves that are the corner chain spaces, and every stitch between those spaces counts as a stitch of that side, and there should be 45 treble US double crochet on each side. And there we have the centre of our blankets down by the sea, week 1. I hope you found the tutorial helpful. Remember, there's lots more step-by-step photos and information on my website, and plus the Facebook group as well. It's really helpful place to ask for tips and advice. Lots of friendly people, more than happy to help you. Have a great time and see you next time.